Oh, Harry, isn't that a nice ashtray?
Just a plain old Cinzano ashtray. I've seen it a million times. I mean, Cinzano's the biggest ashtray company in the world, ain't it?
Harry, I'd like the ashtray. It would look nice on my Italian provincial cocktail table.
For heaven's sake, Doris, what do you want me to do? Swipe it?
You don't have to be so crude. I could just slip it in my bag. The restaurant would never miss it.
Oh, all right.
Harry, is the waiter coming?
Come on, take this.
You're making a spectacle.
Pardon me, madam. Can I help you?
No, yes, waiter. Oh, I was just saying to my husband how much I'd like a Cinzano ashtray.
Would you like the Italian sweet or the French dry?
Huh?
Which vermouth would you like? Sweet or dry?
Oh, they make vermouth?
If you're one of those people who likes Cinzano ashtrays, you might consider liking Cinzano Italian sweet vermouth or Cinzano French dry vermouth, or both. We do make vermouth. Imported by Shefflin and Company, New York.
Announcing the 1966 Chun King.
Sleek, arrogant, a different breed of chow mein. You see it instantly in its bold new bean sprouts, its crisp, aggressive water chestnuts. Talk about extras. You want bucket bamboo shoots? Power onions? You got it, mister, in the 1966 Chun King chow mein. Outside, too, you notice the revolutionary styling of its round cans right away. Wraparound labels, more pickup in the two cans taped together. That's standard equipment on this baby. Look at the way she handles. In the bottom can, independent vegetable suspension. And in the top can, where the action is, over 27 cubic inches of succulent Chun King sauce, loaded with high-performance chicken. Step up to the tuned chow mein, the 1966 Chun King. Noodles optional.
Somewhere between history and legend stands the real Ireland. And somewhere between the River Shannon and the open sea stand the cliffs of Moher. But for a tower that was built in 1835, neither heaven nor earth has ever been able to move these cliffs. Ireland is that way. The hills are as green as they've always been. Life is as quiet as it ever was. And time has a way of standing still. Let Pan Am take you there. You'll know you're flying the best there is. The world's most experienced airline. It's a good feeling.
In Washington today, there were some nice words expressed in the cloakroom about the advantages of owning the Toyota.
Well, sir, our leader said to me just the other day, he said, Hubert, he always calls me Hubert. He said, I think it's about time you had your own private key to the executive Toyota.
We investigated the Toyota and discovered that it has an automatic transmission and gets 30 miles to the gallon, and it's roomy, which is important to a family like ours.
Well, let me say this. It's a grand, old American name, which is why I love to drive my, mercy.
Toyota is a name you can't remember. Toyota is a car you can't forget. Western pays a buck a flub. Western pays a buck.
Is this the Western Airlines ticket counter?
Yes, ma'am.
Would you give me $1 for this flub stub, please?
Yes, ma'am. Not many people get a flub stub on Western.
Well, I got one because the stewardess was rude to me.
A Western Airlines stewardess was rude?
Yes, there was a very attractive man on the plane who was paying a lot of attention to me until the stewardess pulled this dirty trick.
Well, what did she do?
She told him she was the stewardess.
Western pays a buck a flub. Western pays.
Next time you fly with Western, see if you can catch a flub. Check the flub stub creed at the Western Airlines ticket counter. Then, if you catch Western flubbing on any of the 8 promises listed, right then and there you can demand a flub stub worth $1 at any Western Airlines ticket counter. Play the flub stub game the Western way. Perfect service or a buck a flub.
Western pays a buck a flub. Western pays a buck a flub.
You don't have to know a dope addict to be worried about drug addiction. If
If you walk home at night alone or ride the subway, or if there's a teenager in your family, you should be worried. Governor Rockefeller's worried. As much as half the crime in New York City is caused by addicts. That's why the governor has sponsored a tough new law that can get addicts off the streets for up to 3 years. 3 years of supervision, medical care, psychiatric treatment, and retraining. The new Rockefeller law is harder on pushers, much harder. They can be put away for 20 years. Now it's their turn to be worried.
A paid political announcement by friends of the Rockefeller team.
I'm serious. I'm going.
Well, you can't run away from home on an empty stomach.
I'm not hungry.
Well, let me fix a sandwich. You could take it with you.
Well, maybe I'll take some more Skinner's potato chips.
Well, we're all out. But I'm going to the market tomorrow. Can't you wait till then to run away?
No, I want to leave now.
Well, goodbye.
Well, aren't you going to drive me?
And now, an admission from Hoffman's, makers of Hoffman's famous Cup of Gold candy bar.
The world's finest candy bar is not made by Hoffman. No, sir. It's made by me, Ezra Norton. And they know it, too. Every one of mine is custom made to manufacturing standards so painstaking that I've only been able to produce 3 since I've been in business, and that was since 1926. Now, if you have a Norton candy bar on a back order, remember each one's going to cost you around $20,000, and it depreciates rapidly, too. Of course, there is no finer candy bar at any price. However, if you wish to tie up only a dime in your candy bars, then get Hoffman's famous Cup of Gold.
If you're listening to this at home, forget it. This is a recorded test, specially prepared for people who are now in their automobiles. In a moment, you'll hear a warning tone followed by 7 seconds of silence. During this hush, we'd like you to listen to the sound of your car. If you hear more of your car than you should, if the noise level gets worse at higher speeds, it could be a sign of trouble. Our test tone is coming up. Get ready to play it by ear. The preceding period of silence was brought to you by Midas Muffler in an effort to stamp out the automobile racket. If you have any doubts about your present muffler, visit the Midas shop near you for a fast, free muffler inspection.
Attention all D-train subway riders to Coney Island. Do you ever have the problem where you get on the train, say at Rockefeller Center, and settle down to a nice long ride with your evening paper? And about the time you're in the tunnel, you finish the newspaper. You ever have that problem? What do you do then? Do you read the Miss Subway's poster 5 times? Have you ever wondered if Michael Barbero really exists? Have you ever wondered why the Gowanus Canal smells so bad? You shouldn't have to concern yourself with stuff like that. You should concern yourself with the new World Journal Tribune. It's big, and it's complete. So complete it takes 4 separate sections to contain it all. D-train riders, isn't that the kind of paper you've been longing for? One that'll last you all the way to Coney Island? That's the new World Journal Tribune. An evening paper you can spend an evening with.
I remember when I was just a little kid, how I used to go all the time to the library where I could hear nice stories and look at great pictures. I couldn't wait till I learned how to read. And then I got a little older, and I could read. And I used to go every day after school to the library, which I learned to say instead of library. And when I became a teenager, like it was a librarian who helped me pick out the college I went to. To which I went. Well, I guess I don't have to tell you how much help the public library can be to a college man. Why, the career guidance section alone. I mean, business-wise, I'm there often myself these days, researching corporate matters statistic-wise. And with things going well down at the shop, I have more time for leisure. And the library is a center for books on sailing and golf. And when the kids are married and gone, Martha and I plan to spend a lot of time catching up on our reading, seeing films and enjoying all the activities for senior citizens.
Yes, the public library is more than books. It's a way of life.
Every day you inhale 15,000 quarts of air, all of it polluted. This polluted air contains sulfur dioxide, a chemical linked with chronic bronchitis, carbon monoxide, which in sufficient quantities will kill you, acrolein, a chemical used in tear gas during World War I, benzopyrene, which has produced cancer on the skin of mice. Our polluted air also contains unconscionable amounts of dirt and soot. It's come to the point where either you do something about air pollution or air pollution may do something to you. If you've had your fill of polluted air, send your name and address to Citizens for Clean Air, Box 1 Million, Grand Central Station, New York.
Hello there, Bubby. Say, it's time for the Heap of the Week from the used car division of Madison Motors. 1234 East Washington Avenue. Here it is. Here's a car. Really different. Gives you miles and miles. Years and years. Driving satisfaction. Come on now. Let me give you an idea of what kind of really get up and go this week's heap really has. You ready? Okay, let's start her right up there, baby. Yes, sir. When she's running along, she's something. Well, when she's warmed up, she purrs just like a kitten. It really does. Oh, come on now. A guarantee? Yes, sir. Start her up. We guarantee this car all the way from here right to the curb, boy. Then you run your own. Be the first to marvel at. Buy the Heap of the Week from the used car division of Madison Motors, 1234 East Washington Avenue. That's the Heap of the Week. There she goes. Yes, sir. Yes, that is different, isn't it?
Hello? This is KG. Who? Leon Moulton at Moulton Plumbing and Heating? Yes, sir. What can we do for you? Can we advertise what for you? Well, I don't know. Yeah, I know, Mr. Moulton. I know everyone has one in the house, but, well, we just don't talk about them on the air. Well, because we just don't. Yes, I know you're a licensed plumber, and sometimes people have to have them worked on when they get stopped up, but... Well, now, you know all the commotion that happened when Jack Parr... Well, yes, we can say your service is the very best. How will people know what we're talking about? Well, What? No, we don't have a sound effects record of that. Why don't we just tell everybody that if any kind of plumbing, any piece of plumbing equipment gets stopped up or out of order, or if it keeps running after it's supposed to stop and you have to go back and bang on it or jiggle it or kick it, or if it needs any kind of repair, or if it needs replacing, to call Leon Moulton at Moulton Plumbing and Heating.
You know, a rose is hard to figure. It's a tough, thorny vine, and yet when you touch the inside of a petal on one of those big hybrid roses, well, it's like touching a piece of velvet. Only no machine is ever going to make a piece of velvet that smooth. In some ways, that's the best thing about a rose. That contradiction of thorns and flowers, that tough wood near the ground and the most beautiful smell in the world. A good rose that blooms clean is worth just about anything you have to do to make it happen. And that's another thing that's nice about a rose. Maybe the best thing as far as you're concerned. To have the best kind of rose, you gotta work on it. Now and all the way into September, you gotta feed it every 5 or 6 weeks. And you gotta defend it against mildew and bugs. To do that, you ought to use the rose food and rose spray made by the best fertilizers company. They really are the best for things that grow.
If you're around Pier 43 on the San Francisco waterfront, stop and listen. Do you hear the cries of pleading mothers? Or the screaming of young men about to be dragged out to sea? It might be more than just your imagination. Because 75 years ago, right at the foot of the pier where the square rigger Valclutha stands today, young sailors were shanghaied, sold to some sea captain for a couple of dollars, and then shipped out to China or Japan. If you want to see where these sailors spent their last nights, where they ate, or where they drank, fly to San Francisco. And the best way to get there is on American Airlines. American Astrojets can have you there in just a few hours. Call your travel agent or American, the airline built for professional travelers. You'll love it.
This is a happening.
I love you, Fernando Waldmiller.
I use Revlon's Natural Wonder Cake Makeup, and the difference in my skin is unbelievable. It's medicated, you know.
And then we did the Alexander Graham Bell. You know, dance ear to ear and get the message.
If you want to get the message across, be sure to use Revlon's Natural Wonder Compact. Great for touch-ups. Goes anywhere.
Fernandez got the skin. Ha 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 ha! That makes big gains begin. Funny commercial.
What do you say to a yes makeup?
No.
What do you say to a no makeup?
Yes.
Then you'll like Revlon's Natural Wonder Medicated Liquid Makeup. Doesn't look made up, just looks pretty.
How many of these do you have of Fernanda?
100. That was a happening. A natural wonder.
By Revlon.
Who?
These are the good sounds of winter.
They want to stay up anyway. Anyways, they're gone. Let's go to the house and see Mom and make him some hot chocolate. Okay. Wipe your face.
Oh, how would you like some hot chocolate?
Yeah!
Oh,
They kept the mix. No, this is real chocolate milk. You don't have to mix real chocolate milk.
I know, but
back at it. Carrot first.
Whoops, don't drop that card.
Pine, steak, here, let me read it. Pine, steak, chocolate milk. Oh, all right. Here's the marshmallows. It smells good. Maybe
Fine steak chocolate milk. Just pour it in a saucepan, heat, and serve.
After you've had your hot chocolate, you can go outside and play again.
Let's go in the backyard. No, he's been there yet.
Fine steak chocolate milk. Now in a new carton.
The silence of the desert seems so warm. Welcome to the springs. Palm Springs is just for fun, just for golf and just for sun, just for taking all the tension out of things. Come and lose your inhibition. Take a suntan intermission. Come and warm your disposition in Palm Springs. Palm Springs is just for fun, just for getting nothing done, for the night and daytime pleasure that it brings. Come and spend your playtime leisure in Palm Springs. Palm Springs.
Yes, back does better over that dancing. Oh, baby, for that bamboo Shaver is the one beer to have when you're having more than one. Shaver pleasure doesn't fade even when your thirst is done. The most rewarding flavor in this man's world for people who are having fun. Yeah, shaver is the one beer to have when you're having more than one. Oh, yeah.
wild. First against thirst, first to satisfy you. Bright, exciting, so inviting, 7-Up. Fresh, clean, tasting, bold, embracing, 7-Up. Wet and wild, 7-Up is wet and wild. First against thirst, first to satisfy you. So wet and wild and cool, 7-Up.
And now the Girl Watchers theme, music to watch girls by. Half the people in this world are girl watchers. That's why the girls Girl Watchers watch drink Diet Pepsi-Cola with only 1 calorie. It's the only diet drink with real cola taste, sparkling taste, honest to Pepsi taste. The girls Girl Watchers watch drink Diet Pepsi-Cola with only 1 calorie. Diet Pepsi. Try it. Someone will be watching.
Eastern Airlines will fly you to Bunker Hill and Faneuil Hall, Harvard and MIT, Old North Church and Old Ironsides. Eastern Airlines will fly you to the United Nations Building, the Empire State Building, Wall Street, Mott Street, and Broadway. You may charge your Eastern Airlines flight, your hotel bills, anything you arrange in advance, even your weekly car rental, with Eastern Airlines' exclusive Charge-a-Trip plan. This plan allows you to charge your vacation with no money down, pay as little as $10 a month, and take up to 2 years to pay. Eastern Airlines' exclusive Charge-a-Trip plan lets you see your country tomorrow if you don't have the cash on hand today.
Every now and then, sometimes when you least expect it, often when you're gay and happy, a headache starts and begins to grow and grow and pound and throb until happiness is a thing of the past. Then's the time to remember Bayer works wonders. Bayer aspirin is pure aspirin, not just part aspirin. 2 tablets bring all the pain relief power your headache can use. Bayer aspirin. Put some in your pocket and medicine chest today, because it's hard to be happy when you hurt. Remember, Bayer works wonders. Honest.
And now, here is your story lady.
Hello, this is your story lady. This week's story is called Lolita. It is about a little girl who's 14 years old and her mommy and a big grown-up man who comes to live with them. And they are all on the Saturday night movie on Channel 7 on your television set. Now can we all say Lolita? Lolita. Sue Lyon is Lolita, James Mason is the big grown-up man, Shelley Winters is the mommy, and Peter Sellers is, well, he's just an old silly.
And when can we see this story, story lady?
Oh, it is on real late Saturday night at 11:15. That is when the big hand is on the 3 and the little hand is on the 11. Now can we all say, we are going to watch Lolita on this week's Saturday night movie on Channel 7? Oh, that was very good.
Thank you, story lady.
Ladies and gentlemen, the beloved mother of the beloved herring maven.
I would not eat such a thing. It's got such a funny name.
That was the foolishness I heard at a very fine party. What this ritzy lady was talking about was gefilte fish. Well, I said to her, remember what that great William Shakespeare, the writer, said. What's in a name? Because even if you think a wonderful name like gefilte fish sounds funny, it doesn't taste funny, especially mother's gefilte fish. What mother's tastes like, it tastes happy. Now that fancy person was really listening to me with respect. So I told her, eat a piece of mother's gefilte fish, and then never again would you believe that gefilte fish is funny. Mother's gefilte fish. When you eat it, you hear a symphony in your mouth. Hello? Hello, my son the maven. I'm not sick. How come you're calling?
Mother's Foods, traditional for the high holy days, endorsed by the OU. Ladies and gentlemen, the return of the beloved herring maven.
A worried and concerned mother wrote me recently that she was worried and concerned. Her son Marvin, an Ivy League chap, had written home that he was lonely and troubled and homesick, and also he didn't feel so good. What could a mother do? Well, I replied in answer, what your Ivory League needs is a reminder of a mother's love and warmth. Send him herring every week. Delicious Vita herring fillets and cream sauce, tangy Vita herring party snacks and wine sauce, and send it in a plain brown wrapper the other boys shouldn't see it and playfully throw it down the stairs. For his birthday, you could send him a jar of Vita old-fashioned pickled schmaltz herring. He should be reminded he may be a smart chap, your Marvin, but he's still your little boy. And if he doesn't like herring, what kind of fancy stuff are they teaching you at college? It's costing you an arm and a leg.
The beloved herring maven has been brought to you by Vita Foods, who say, make your day a little bit brighter, eat a little pickled herring by Vita.